Welcome back MVP Road Car family. Today we're diving into something that blends retro soul with modern innovation, a car that takes a beloved classic and reimagines it for a new generation. I'm talking about the 2026 Volkswagen Karmann-Ghia. Now, if you know your car history, you'll remember the original Karmann-Ghia that first came out in the mid-1950s. It was a collaboration between Volkswagen, the Italian design house Ghia, and the German coach builder Karmann. It wasn't about brute performance here, it was about elegance, style, and the feeling of having something truly beautiful to drive. Fast forward to today, Volkswagen has resurrected that nameplate, and the result is a car that pays tribute to the past while stepping firmly into the future. Let's take a closer look. First impressions of the exterior. Stunning. Volkswagen has managed to bring back the flowing, sculpted lines of the original coupe but modernize them with sharper detailing and a sleeker stance. At the front, you get a low-slung nose with slim LED matrix headlights that stretch horizontally, giving it a futuristic but unmistakably VW look. The front fascia has smooth, almost organic curves, and there's a subtle chrome strip that traces the outline, nodding to the chrome accents of the 1960s models. The hood itself dips slightly, flowing effortlessly into the windshield, which has a sharp rake that enhances the coupe's aerodynamics. Move around to the side profile and this is where the nostalgia really hits. That classic teardrop silhouette is back, with wide hips over the rear wheels and a low roofline that arcs gracefully. The proportions are spot on, compact, athletic, but elegant. Volkswagen offers a range of alloy wheel designs up to 20 inches, and depending on the trim, you can opt for diamond-cut finishes that add a luxury feel. Flush door handles, sculpted side panels, and a slightly flared rear quarter give it a dynamic stance even when it's standing still. At the rear, you've got a modern reinterpretation of the rounded tail that made the Karmann-Ghia famous. Slim LED taillights curve into the fenders, and a full-width light bar ties everything together. The rear bumper has been integrated cleanly, and if you go for the performance trim, you'll spot dual exhaust outlets finished in brushed steel. Aerodynamic details, like an active rear spoiler that deploys at speed, remind you this is not just a nostalgia piece here, it's a modern driver's car. And I've got to say, the color palette is beautiful. Volkswagen is offering some retro-inspired shades like seafoam green and cherry red, alongside contemporary metallics and matte finishes, so you can spec it either vintage cool or modern stealth. Now let's step inside, because Volkswagen has really leaned into the fusion of old and new here. The interior is a work of art. The dashboard takes inspiration from the simplicity of the original Karmann-Ghia but translates it into a tech-savvy environment. There's a sweeping horizontal layout with minimal buttons, dominated by a 12.9-inch central touchscreen for infotainment and a fully digital 11-inch driver's display. The screens are crisp, responsive, and loaded with the latest VW operating system, which thankfully is far more intuitive than what we saw a few years back. Materials are premium across the board. Soft-touch leatherette on the dash, real aluminum trim, and optional open-pore wood accents give the cabin a handcrafted vibe. You can even choose retro two-tone upholstery that harks back to the 60s models. The steering wheel has a clean two-spoke design, again paying homage to the past but with modern multi-function controls neatly integrated. The seats are slim but supportive, designed more for grand touring comfort than hardcore track driving, though the optional sport package does add bolstered bucket seats. Space-wise, it's still a compact coupe, so don't expect SUV practicality. Front passengers get plenty of legroom and headroom, but the rear seats are best suited for kids or short trips. The trunk, however, is surprisingly usable thanks to a deep loading bay enough for weekend bags or a couple of golf clubs. Volkswagen has also packed in plenty of convenience tech, wireless charging, a high-end Harman Kardon audio system, ambient lighting with customizable colors, and even voice control that actually works decently well. Performance is where the new Karmann-Ghia gets really interesting, because Volkswagen offers it in multiple flavors. The base model comes with a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder producing around 220 horsepower, paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic and front-wheel drive. This setup delivers smooth acceleration, going from 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds, making it a solid daily driver that balances performance with efficiency. Step up to the Ghia GT trim, and you get a 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-5, pushing out 330 horsepower and sending it to all four wheels via VW's 4Motion system. This one sprints to 60 in about 4.8 seconds and has a much more aggressive character, with adaptive dampers, a sport exhaust, and selectable drive modes that genuinely change the personality of the car. For the future-forward crowd, Volkswagen is also offering a fully electric version, built on their MEB Plus platform. This model delivers around 280 horsepower from a dual-motor setup, with instant-to-work and a 0 to 60 time of around 5 seconds flat. Range is estimated at 300 miles on a full charge, and with 200 kilowatt fast charging capability, you can juice it from 10 to 80% in about 25 minutes. It's whisper quiet, smooth, and adds a whole new dimension to what the Karmann-Ghia can be in the 21st century. On the road, regardless of trim, the car feels planted and nimble. The chassis tuning is impressive, balancing comfort with agility. The steering is precise, with just the right amount of weight, and the suspension does a great job soaking up bumps without feeling floaty. Push it through corners, and the Ghia responds with confidence, especially in the all-wheel drive models. It's not a hardcore sports car like a Porsche Cayman, but that's not really the point. The Karmann-Ghia is about style, everyday usability, and the joy of driving something beautiful. As for price, Volkswagen has positioned this car to be aspirational but not out of reach. The base turbo model starts at around $38,000, which puts it in competition with entry-level BMW 2 Series and Audi A3 coupes. The GT trim jumps to the mid-$50,000 range, while the fully electric Ghia starts at around $52,000 with higher trims going north of $60,000. Considering the design, heritage, and tech packed into this car, those numbers actually feel pretty competitive. So, who is this car really for? It's for people who want something distinctive, something that stands out in a world where so many cars look the same. It's for drivers who appreciate heritage but don't want to give up modern comfort and performance. And it's for anyone who believes driving should be an experience, not just a commute. Overall, the 2026 Volkswagen Karmann-Ghia is a triumph of design and engineering. It's not trying to be the fastest car on the block, and it's not trying to replace a hardcore sports coupe. Instead, it's carving out its own niche, just like the original Ghia. Affordable elegance with a dash of excitement. It's a car that makes you smile every time you see it, and even more when you're behind the wheel.